So you find that you're lacking some of the power that you need to do either some of the technical climbs or that last little bit of that punchy hill climb. I'm here for you. Today we're going to go over plyometric drills that aren't just the typical box jumps and double-legged things. In mountain biking and many other sports, you need to understand power differences in side to side, and you need to do a more stagger stance or even single leg plyometric move. We're going to go over 3 different plyometric moves that can make it really functional for you to apply this straight over for the mountain bike. The first one in this is a lateral blast. And this may seem like a double leg thing, but since you're traveling sideways over top of the towel, that makes it where you're going to push more with the outside foot than with the inside foot, and different with the inside foot than the outside foot, because you're traveling side to side versus just front to back in this. As you're pushing, your outside foot is going to push farther to the side, and the inside foot is typically going to push even a little bit more vertical. Your key with this is that you want to try to go as vertical as possible while making it over top of the towel. As you do this, you're going to land in a squat stance, and as you prep to do this, kind of spring into it, then you will squat to jump over. It's just like thinking about how tall you're going to get versus thinking about actually how your body is moving, the mechanics of it. Think about landing softly and think about being tall in your jump will help you to do the mechanics of the actual move without overloading what your brain is trying to communicate with. And one caveat with this is that women that have had knee issues in the past is that we tend to land more with our knees than we tend to land with our hips. This makes you more susceptible to other knee issues and knee injuries as you go forward in this. We want to make sure that we're using our hips in this. This means that as we're landing and as we're prepping, we're dropping our hips down, driving up, and then same thing when we're landing through our hips as well as our knees and ankles, not just mainly your knees. This has been shown through research, especially if you've had an ACL injury in the past. You tend to be more knee dominant with the movement of cushioning versus hip dominant with the movement and the cushioning. This is why even some drop drills where you just step off of a step and land can help you to understand this mechanic without even adding in the spring and the jump initially with it. Number 2 with this is where you're going to do hops, single-legged from a 45-degree angle. You can use the towel if you'd like in between it, or you can just kind of have an imaginary line that you have in between there. I like having something that gives you a point of reference that you're jumping up and over to that, but it's sometimes necessary for you to not have to think about getting to a specific point whenever you're doing a single leg activity. As you're doing this, it's the same basic idea, is that you want to hold balance on that side, you will go down and then kind of go as high as you can up and over and land in that 45-degree angle. You're going to land there just for a moment, come back into your squat as you're cushioning, and then come back out and go back diagonally to where you started. This kind of side to side, but in a diagonal way, helps you to use so many more mechanisms, so many more muscles in your body to balance, stabilize, and push that you typically don't get in this power type move. It's a great exercise, and don't forget to do this on both sides. You may not be able to last very long in this, so take just a couple second break, start again, take a couple second break, start again. It's really good to try to really get that umph. You're going to find that you're using your entire body. Your arms will be involved, your core will be involved, your legs will obviously be involved because they're the primary generators of force here. Last but not least, we are going to do stagger stance, hops, and lands. This is where you are going from one stagger stance, jumping up tall and vertical, and landing in the opposite stagger stance. Now, many of us have a preference to which foot we like to be behind and which foot we like to be in front. You will find that that is the preference, again, in this stagger stance, land, and hop. This is a mechanism of helping you get better at that opposite side, target that opposite side when you're less likely to get injured. Because whenever you're riding your bike downhill, we don't always want to target the other side because we're more likely to crash in that. And so doing this helps you to even out your body, even out your mechanisms, and even out your ability to put power into your pedals instead of always wanting to push that right foot down or push that left foot down when you're going to do a power move, because sometimes we need that other leg to do the power move for us. So again, hopping back and forth for 30 seconds or so and taking breaks when you need to in the middle of that, but then starting up as quickly as you can after that will help you with, one, it's an interval basically, and it will help you to target those muscle groups that you need to spring and power off from those legs and to land and cushion. The other thing that this works is your calf muscle. A lot of times we don't strength train for our calf muscles as much, but they're a super important part of mountain biking. We need that press down onto the pedal. We need that ability to integrate your calf muscles with this and also to have it as a cushion after going off the drops, but it often gets left out of some strength training. I hope that you enjoy these plyometric drills and you see how they can immediately translate over to your biking and can change that power and also landing coordination that you may need on your bike.